So after all of that, after I go through and have a whole other session to catch up to the next session, we run to, what was the next one called? No. Oh, the rescue from the rotting steps.
Ah.
So now we're getting into the more recent episodes that we very clearly remember.
I wish that I hope that right now, as we're remembering the rotting steps, anyone who's watching this goes and like finds some Mario noises, listens to that for like 15 seconds, and then comes back, because that's the noise the rest of us have had in our heads.
Mario noises?
With the jumping from pillar to pillar, man.
Oh, yeah, okay. I thought you meant like a flashback sound. I'm like, what flashback is there in Mario?
What's Mario's favorite? Wait, what's Mario's favorite fabric?
Denim, denim, denim.
Denim, denim, denim.
Geeks. All right, so this episode was when the group gets back together, and once again you meet in a tavern. I had a little fun with this tavern, like, because of the unique nature of the nightlife. Any tavern that's going to operate at night has got to be kind of a battle tavern. So you guys meet up at Shots, which is named because there's only one kind of alcohol, and it comes in a shot glass, and the upstairs is full of like shooting implements to clear out the undead that are right over there. You guys meet. You get some. This is where you get some of Broosk's backstory, right?
Yes. 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 The knowing I have it and where it came from was a head scratcher. I'm not. It's in the segue between Banshee and when we go down into the. I just don't know which episode it actually lives in.
Right. Well, you got bits and pieces each time. But this was where CliqClaq got a lot of it as well. You kind of did the exposition dump, and then you guys hear. Well, you guys met the bartender as well, the half ogre bartender that makes one kind of booze, the Trog gin. Don't think you didn't meet his. Yeah, there's another guy that helps run that bar too, but. You guys hear a scream from out back in the zombie-infested pit, and da-da, go out and do the hero thing. This is what I was hoping you would do.
This is what we do.
All right, so hilarity ensues. You guys, this is, again, when it comes down to encounter design, I try to do little things that are interesting, especially when it's mobs of small creatures. So I did what's called the zombie carpet, but this time I put it at like a 60-degree angle, and with zigzag switchbacks down, just to spice it up a little bit. And you guys did some really fun stuff with that.
I liked the zigzag as a problem.
Yeah.
Right.
I liked the map as a problem.
Right. As a GM, I often like to work in the environment that works against you. In Shadowrun, I once almost killed someone with sunburn. Twice, actually. 2 different distinct games just about kill characters with sunburn. It's... but Shadowrun's kind of a hostile system as well. Shadowrun, it's out to get you. D&D, it's not so brutal.
I wouldn't survive Shadowrun. Like, I got 2nd-degree sunburn right now.
In Humble.
I'm really good at it. I don't know what to tell you. Once a season.
Right, it's been raining lately.
It was during a mostly foggy day.
Fog burn's the worst.
Mm.
So for this episode, you didn't really know who you were rescuing either. You just saw like a black-robed figure way down the steps. Trying to figure out how to get to them was You had some more mobile characters. This was the episode that Stan succeeded on a stealth check.
Right? Didn't I sneak up behind a zombie? Isn't that what happened?
Whole team of zombies. Brains.
Boom.
They don't hear the tiptoeing, clanking paladin behind.
Tip, tip, clang. Tip, tip, clang.
And the person on the steps, I don't know if we noticed right when we came in, but I mean, there were missing limbs. There was some pretty serious bleeding going on.
That was what I didn't figure they were going to survive long enough for us to get down there to them. Honestly.
Yeah, those weren't numbers Stan ran in his head, but I can understand why he did.
When I was setting up the scenario, I had to run through a whole other D&D fight in my head, which because how is a wounded person going to get there? Which included like the character you finally find out is Sangrid. Keep as part of her item kit is periaptive wound closure, which is like at 0 hit points you go back to 1 hit point. You can crawl your skinny wizard ass out of there. Which is exactly what happened. Meanwhile, this episode again was a full episode of combat. I mean, you guys got a little bit of intro, but from there, it was all combat for 2-3 hours, and then the next session too. The whole second episode started out as another long combat. But I don't feel like it got to be a slog. I don't feel like at any point I felt like it was just like 2 people beating hit points out of each other or something.
I don't think that was the case either. I said I like the terrain. I like the ability to be able to use sound and light as a zombie draw, and that actually working in the universe.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm just going to point out that again we split the party.
Tactically.
We're always going to split the party because Stan is all melee and I'm all range.
And I have to be like mid-range between the two of you to hit anything.
Yeah. Your sweet spot is 60 feet. CliqClaq's sweet spot's about 120 feet, and Stan's sweet spot is 0 feet.
I'm designed to send the crowd in, hang out a mile away, and just pick people off.
I'm the big shiny distraction that comes up in their face.
While Lovelace grapples 2 enemies at once.
We should consider figuring out more ways to make that necessary party splitting work for us. As a thing to think about.
Usually figure as long as you're on the same map, it's tactical. If you guys are like on the swamp fight with the pirates, you guys were on 2 different maps for part of it. And they got a little hairy for a second. But this one, I mean, you guys were still a distance apart. But I wouldn't say, there was enemies between you, but I don't really feel like you were split.
Yeah. Like, same area, same objective isn't really splitting the party. It's just people doing their thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Different optimal ranges, different best tactics per character. And later on, when the wizard is with the party, that's a whole other thing. But before we get there, you guys have to rescue her, which is this, and the next session, the next episode. What the gang discovers zombie bowling.